the most expensive piece I've ever worked. It's a piece of naval bronze. Today, I'm gonna see if I can squish this down under the power hammer, give it a forging. Hopefully I can do this, because if I can't, then I gotta phone up the client and tell him, oh yeah, hi, yeah, so just calling about that project I was doing for you. Yeah, that didn't really work out the way we were hoping so, but unfortunately we can't give you a refund. But no, we really appreciate you, oh, rude. Yeah, I gotta be that guy. Nobody wants to be that guy. So let's hope we can do this. Let's give it a shot. Here we go. So this material is so soft, I've got to make a pair of tongs, or find a pair of tongs that I can use. Maybe I'm just going to put some brass covers on the end of it so that it's brass on brass, because I found that if the steel touches it, it'll either embed into the material or really gouge it. So that's going to be first on the agenda. I already prepped my power hammer dies, super clean, really smooth, trying to keep contamination down to the absolute minimum for this piece, so hopefully that helps. So I'm just gonna figure out that tongs, and then we can get this going. All right, how cool is that? Totally pumped on how this stuff forges. It's like clay kind of. It's just so insanely soft. When the power hammer hits it, it's like, no rebound at all. When this is in the forge, man, I didn't want to turn my back to it once. You leave this for 2 seconds and it just crumbles and burns. Definitely got to be on your A game around here, especially when you're working this. This is a shape I wanted. I got to make a couple more of these, but yes, this material can be forged. So next up, I'm going to pass this piece off to Martin. He's going to be at the milling machine doing some super tricky operations. He's going to be doing some drilling, milling, boring, milling. Wait, I already said that. He's doing a whole bunch of operations over there while I continue to forge a couple more of these guys. Okay, so Martin just got this all set up. You can see the brass chunk in there. We're gonna mill this flat on the top end. Spent a lot of time getting everything squared tight. And Martin, how do you feel about this? Okay, there you go. He's super excited, folks. Here we go. So do you want to tell them what we're going to do next? Or do you want me to tell them what they're going to do next?
I don't want to tell them what we're going to do next.
I don't want to tell them what's going to happen next. This is a whole bunch of steps. Well, okay. Well, rock, paper, scissors. Loser has to tell what's going on. Okay. Rock, paper, scissors. Oh, snap! Okay, do it again. Rock, paper, scissors.
I guess I win.
Ah.
Good luck.
Oh, man. Okay, here's what's going on. I'll just unscrew this. We've done a couple steps that you haven't seen. Okay, so this is our brass part. You've seen this. This is I forged. Martin just faced this off in the mill, and then we didn't catch this on camera, but he actually drilled a hole in there and threaded it. That's a 5/8 thread. And that's actually all. The thread is temporary. We're gonna remove it, but we need it for the next steps on able to handle this. So really briefly, stick with me. This is what we're gonna do. Martin and I have had a lot of discussions on the process to make this all work and which is the best way to go about it. So this is what we're gonna do. Step 1 is we're gonna thread it onto this bar. Step 2 is we're gonna put it in the bandsaw, and we actually have to cut it like right about here. So we're gonna part it. Once it's parted, Martin's gonna take this thing and put it back. Oh no, it's actually still on the threaded part. He's gonna take it, he's gonna put it in the lathe, then he's gonna face this side, and then we have a perfect parallelogram. These two edges are perfect. Then we're gonna go back to the milling machine, put it this way. Oh no, wait. It is going back to the milling machine, but we're gonna add on, hang on a second. At that point, we're gonna add this part on. It gets mounted like that. That's a brass washer. Then we go into the milling machine like this. Then we drill all the way through. Then we drill in a little ways in. Then we ream in a little bit so we can push in a bushing. And then we come in with a huge mill end and mill in a big groove on the top so we can stick in another plastic washer. That'll all make sense as we continue to go. I have no idea how many steps that is, but that is the plan. Martin's gonna take this away, and it's like 1,400 steps. I don't about that, yeah. Martin's got his double cup of go-go here, so he doesn't make any mistakes on this because this is tight. So I'm gonna hand it over to you, Martin. There you go.
And I'm so glad I have 2 coffees.
2 coffees to go. Okay, so this is a quick jump into where we're at. I just machined, I don't know if you can see this, it's hard to see this part right there. It's a little tapered wash or cone. And what we're gonna use that for is, so actually I'll zoom you in here so you can see. Sure. So Martin has these 2 holes drilled in here, but we wanna get those perfectly into the base. And so what we're planning on doing is we're gonna drill through and then thread those at a later point. So anyways, we wanted to make sure that that washer was centered. So that's what the cone is gonna do. It's gonna thread in here like this. And then it'll center that washer on that hole. And then we're gonna put those 2, drill through that. And then this hole here, it's still way undersized, so we will do a final bore through the whole entire thing so that everything's lined up, but it'll get us really close, and that's what we need right now. Okay, this is super exciting now. So Martin has just finished up this part here. And we got the washer ready to go. So now these are gonna get bolted together. And the exciting part for us is that now we're gonna assemble this as one unit, and then we'll do a final placement in the milling machine. That'll be the final chuck. And then we're gonna introduce a whole bunch of new tools. I'm so pumped about this. These new bits are gonna really make this process seamless. So one chuck up, we drill through, we bore through, we mill to get everything, all the shoulders and everything where we need it. So here we go, so pumped. Okay, so there's actually been a little change of plans. It's kind of like the reoccurring theme around here. Everything's going. Anyways, it's a oversight kind of. We made these parts originally at the beginning a long time ago. Projects changed about 500 times. So now what that means is this is machine surface, and this actually is the surface we want to leave it with, this sort of oxidized, it's the natural forging color. So machine versus forged. So what we're gonna try to do, I'm gonna heat this thing up, hopefully just carefully, to get the oxide surface, and then hopefully that'll be the real finished surface, and then we'll put these together and then do the final machining, so that after the final machining's done, we don't have to do any additional heating or anything nervous like that. That was not fun at all. I actually literally just about melted it. Seriously, man. Oh, it's so scary. You probably can't see it, but on the edge of that hole, it's starting to get really liquid and almost melted it. Yikes. This is why we're doing it before we've finished machined it, but we're into this one for a lot of time, so careful today. Okay, so I'm just outside of the shop, and after I melted it there almost, I told Martin I almost melted it. So anyways, I've just been reheating it up, and now I'm gonna go totally fake it that I melted it, see what his reaction is. He's put so much time into this part. So here we go, our little secret. Are you kidding me? Martin! Oh! Holy shit. Totally got you.
Yeah, you did.
No, it's all good. Okay, wow, we're getting to the end of the day. We've been working on this a long time. But anyways, this is so funny. So we're on our last step, the most critical step, right? And we go to put this in, and it's like, oh, it won't fit. But we've cleared our part, so lower the knee all the way down. Oh, still won't fit. Raise the all the way up to the top. It's all the way up to the top, and it still won't fit. So now this expensive bit, we're gonna just take it and we're gonna cut it off. I'm gonna cut it off so it's shorter so we can get it in. But we already moved it off of 0, so this is so silly because I should have done it before, so then we could have just left everything centered up, done it, no problem. So what a crazy world we're in right now. So the toss-up is bandsaw, lathe, or torch, or angle grinder. I don't know. Anyways, here we go. What I'm about to do, ladies and gentlemen, I do not recommend at home, and we will not show on TV. This is too gruesome. You never saw anything, and I'm not talking about this in the comments below. We've got here is we've got some oil-light bushings, so we're gonna push those in now. Hopefully everything's on spec that this works out. This is nervous, obviously. This is the part we want to see. Hopefully these don't just drop in. Okay, they definitely do not. Okay, so we got the bushings under the fly press here. I got a pusher. I'm gonna have to find something else that will go the rest of the way. This won't get us, but I'm gonna start it. I want to see how the shaft fits in just when we get going, just to see how all our machining has done so far. So, make sure we start off as square as we can. Feels really good. I'm gonna just stop there and check it before we push it all the way in. Okay, so I just made this UHMW plastic washer so I can bump the bushing the rest of the way in. I just want to be super careful about what I stuck down there, that when it sat on that brass shoulder it didn't damage it, so hoping this plastic should be the best solution for that. We're not machinists here if you haven't figured that out. We're just trying. So, here we go. Martin, are you ready? Like, this is the moment. This is it. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah! I'm gonna show you what we're building because it'll make more sense to explain it that way. So this is the part made out of steel. This was our test prototype. And so what it is this thing sits on top of a gate like this. It's like a hitching post. And there's a lock in here. When that lock is removed, this part sits like this. And then this thing just comes up like this and then turns 90. And then when you open the gate and then when you shut the gate, you just turn it 90 and it falls. So we're making this one out of brass, obviously. So we'll be machining this part at a later date and whatnot. So today, I think we're gonna leave it there. We've just got the plastic washer done, ready to press in there. We'll probably wait to the end to set that in, and then the machine of shafts. I'm not gonna probably bring you along for the rest of this part, just the rest of the machine and whatnot. Probably what I'll do is, if you're interested, I'll just do in a video in the future, I'll just quickly, hey, check this out guys, we finally finished this part, because I don't want to draw it out more than one video, if you know what I mean. I have a couple other things I probably should update you around here on anyway, so maybe a collection of those things at some time in the future. Yeah, so that brings us to the conclusion of today's video. Yes, the brass can be, or, oh, I keep calling it brass, it's actually bronze. And very happy on the ability of how it forges so nice, super cool that. And the milling, you know, Martin and I, we're not machinists, you probably gathered that already, but it's pretty fun for us to give it a good go and play around in the back there. It takes a long time, but it's good. So anyways, that's what's going on with this part. Hope you enjoyed it, stuck it out to the end, always appreciate that. Love the comments in below, liking the video. Would really appreciate it if you would subscribe if you haven't already. Don't know what the emphasis is for, but hey, we'll go with it. So we will see you next week. If not sooner. It won't be sooner. If not sooner. Okay. I'm gone.